Hey there, it's Hunter with Group 9, covering Chapter 17 this week on integrating hypothesis-driven development and A-B testing into our daily work. So this week, this video, we're going to be going over the history of A-B testing, how to integrate A-B testing into our feature testing, procedures to integrate A-B testing into our releases, and procedures to integrate A-B testing into our feature planning. To start us off, we're going to be going over a brief history of what A/B testing is. So pretty much, A/B testing is two different versions of letters, of websites. There's two different versions of whatever the company is testing. They might have different stylizations, different colors, different font styles, different wording, all to see which one performs better, and they can use that, collect data from those two different versions to improve how they word in the future, and then just learn overall what their customers like. So it has roots in pre-social media days, so all the way back to when companies would send letters out or mail. They might send two different versions of that, and again, they'd have different wording, different font styles, different colors, all to see which customers would end up calling the company back or making a purchase and so forth. So bad sides about this was they were very costly and not very cheap, and the results to see if it even worked would take weeks or even months. So then, very time consuming. All right, integrating A/B testing into our feature testing. So A/B testing is very experimental based. You might have one primary version, and then another where it's just to a limited subset of users, where they might test features that you're working on. Maybe to test different styles of where the websites like links are, and so forth. And so a good way to see, or a reason why companies might do this, let's say they're testing some experimental features, but I guess they're not sure what the demand is. To that small subset of users, they could release those features and then kind of monitor how much they're being used, or if the user's experience was poor by using those features. And that data could be very valuable to a company when they might have millions of users. So avoid having all the users like, oh, this feature is not too good, while instead they just had a limited subset, and they were able to quickly tell from that limited subset of users that it's not going to be a good feature, so it will help them save money by not continuing to develop those features. And it's also very important, as the book says, 2/3 of all the features end up coming back either like, and it doesn't really make a difference, or it's actually harmful. And so that's why it's imperative that companies do use this A/B testing to test those features, to make sure that if they do land a feature that 1/3 would land in, it'd be helpful, and they can realize that, and they can go forward. All right, so then we integrate A/B testing into our releases. So feature toggles can be useful in an A/B testing. So that pretty much is being able to control what users see, what users can use, um, and there is some frameworks to be able to monitor or even help you use A/B testing in your environment that are already made out there for you. So they enable options such as being able to choose how much users could see the other version, and they also let you, like such as Google Analytics, kind of see like how many clicks a button got, or how many times this website was activated. One feature that interested me was, I guess, throttling. So I guess it is possible that you might experiment longer load times, which is interesting to me. But I guess it does provide interesting data. And then once again, A/B testing allows one to say a feature is working on as soon as it's underway, meaning that that companies have a lot of different features, but not a lot of times a lot of developers, and they want to make the developers work very productively. And sometimes they want to make sure this feature is actually worth making, worth expanding on, worth polishing. However, if A/B testing proves that it is either doesn't make a difference, or it actually makes the whole experience worse for the user, they can quickly shut that down and then relocate the developers and the resources into actually working on things that would improve the experience. So then we have integrating A/B testing into our feature planning. So a good example from the book in the very beginning talks about this kind of model we believe will result, and we will have confidence to proceed when. And so an example they give is, let's say they have a hypothesis or an idea saying, hey, we think if we have these certain images on a hotel website, then it's going to result in more people clicking on renting a room or staying the night. And then we will have confidence to actually integrate this into our main version when we see like a 5% increase in clicks and so forth. And so that really allows companies to kind of work around having a like a future idea of what they want to do in regards of this A/B testing and how it actually help business grow. And so what's interesting is the team at Yahoo Answers actually did a study where they kind of looked at what A/B testing was to them and how it actually improved. And what they realized was the experiments need to happen a lot more frequently than what they thought. So they were doing one build like every 6 weeks, and then they ended up going to one build or multiple builds every 1 week, which did increase in the customer engagement. They realized they need to make the focus of changes on the customer outcomes and not just on the sake of making changes. So then you're just working on features that you don't know customers are going to actually use. And by doing that, both revenue and visits increase to the Yahoo Answers site. So in conclusion, A/B testing allows teams to better understand what customers want from the products they are using. If done frequently, it allows changes to be made quickly and efficiently to products to meet consumer demands. If A/B testing is built into how we develop applications and other products, it has the potential to change business for the better in most cases. And personally, I think A/B testing could just be pretty fun. Being able to monitor which versions are which, it can kind of predict what might be the outcomes, and then you might be surprised on what people actually want, or if your expectations were met or not. But overall, I do think it's a good design principle and should be used in all companies when they have a consumer base to benefit the user the most. Thank you for listening.